Hello and welcome to Physical Therapy, a movie podcast. We are here every week recommending movies and talking about the latest and greatest physical media. That means Blu-rays, 4Ks, etc. My name is Kurt.
I am Sam.
We're also joined by our producer, Kimberly. What's up, Kim?
Hi, boys.
Sam, this is...
Big day for us.
This is a very special episode, a big day for us.
Yeah.
Tell the people why.
We have a good buddy and drummer extraordinaire for the rock and roll outfit, Murder by Death. Dagan Thogerson is joining us to talk about the one and only Bill and Ted.
Hell yeah.
That's two.
Actually.
That's two dudes.
Yeah. The two and only Bill and Ted.
What's up, Dagan?
Hey, Kurt. What's up, dude?
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
I'm excited. Probably to talk about your favorite trilogy of all time.
All time.
Hell yeah, man.
Absolutely. Even before it was a trilogy, even before the third one existed.
It was still your
It's
favorite
my favorite
trilogy.
3 movies I've ever seen.
So Bill and Ted's most triumphant trilogy was just recently released on 4K and Blu-ray from Shout Factory in a really great box set. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Dagan, I want to know, what is your relationship to physical media? Do you have one? Are you in a relationship with physical media?
I read books. I still read physical books.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I've only listened to 2 audiobooks in total, even though the technology's been there and I tour a lot. So audiobooks are ideal for that situation. So you're not lugging around 20 pounds in books in your suitcase. But I just lug around books in my suitcase. So I'm more of a book reader than I am like a DVD or Blu-ray dude.
Not bringing DVDs on the road.
Not anymore. I did. I used to have a little like single DVD player with a flip up screen on it.
Yeah, remember those? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I had that. I watched that Schwarzenegger movie Collateral on it. It was really bad.
We've covered that on the show.
We've done that on the show, yeah.
It's a bad movie, dude.
It sucks, dude. It's so bad.
I wonder if watching Collateral...
Wait, it's Collateral Damage,
Yeah,
right?
Collateral Damage.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant.
Collateral's
That's what I
a
meant.
different movie.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Collateral Damage.
I wonder if watching Collateral Damage on a little flip-up DVD player makes it better or worse.
My guess is it's probably better.
What do you guys have coming up, Dagan? Are you on the road soon? Recording soon?
With Murder by Death, we're writing a new record. So I'll be flying out for a couple of weeks for a writing session at the end of this month. And I've got a tour playing drums for a Scottish punk rock guy named Billy Liar in November up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Sweet.
More writing with MBD than we record actually down in Los Angeles in February. And that record will come out in June of next year. Then we'll be on the road a lot of next year to support that.
Amazing.
As Kurt mentioned earlier, this is an episode to talk about the Bill and Ted trilogy. I realized as I was watching Bill and Ted 2 and 3 today, I knew I hadn't seen 3, but I don't know if I knew that I hadn't seen 2.
You hadn't seen Bogus Journey?
Not totally. I'd seen clips of scenes or seen scenes on TV, but I don't think I'd ever seen it from start to finish.
I think I'm right there with you. I think the jury's out on whether I watched the whole thing before 3 came out, but
Sure.
some of it was unfamiliar.
Did you both black out watching that movie?
It's possible.
Maybe, Kim. What's it fucking to you?
It's so funny because like you guys, especially Sam, is probably like my biggest movie fan friend. And like Kurt, I know that you're a big movie dude too. But this franchise is, when I think of franchises where the sequel, this is the first one that comes to mind where the sequel, in my opinion, is much better than the first movie.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
I mean, I love Excellent Adventure. I love it to death. I think Bogus Journey is more fun. It's more interesting. It's more strange.
Wow.
Let's start at the beginning. Excellent
Yeah,
Adventure.
sure.
We jumping right in? Let's do it.
When did you first see it, Dagan?
Probably 1987 when it came out, right? 87? Is
I
that
think
right?
it's 89.
89, I
89?
think.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the theater?
Yeah.
VHS?
Well, I know that I've watched it on VHS several times because we would rent it all the time per my request, my folks. And like the video store had they had like merch, like free swag to give away because it was a big movie to rent. So I had a bunch of like Bill and Ted like buttons for my jean jacket.
Hell
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, just watched that movie a lot.
It's rated PG. It's like an easy movie. I mean, and even now there's like, a couple words that you would maybe not hear in PG movies now, but for the most part it like pretty much plays like a silly
Yeah, like
kids
he
comedy.
says dickweed in it once.
Yeah.
And he drops the F-bomb one time,
Yeah.
like the homophobic F-bomb.
I don't think I saw this until my 20s. I don't know. I somehow missed this as a young person, which pains me every time I see it now.
But, even if, even though you're in your 20s, did you still love it, even though you didn't have the nostalgic attachment to it from seeing when you were a kid?
I love it more and more every time I see it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's great.
This time through, especially, I was just like, this is so simple and perfect.
I mean, not to sound corny, it's fucking excellent, dude. It's an excellent movie.
It's so sweet too. Like, that's what
without
was
a
really
doubt.
hitting me this time is just how nice it is for the most
Yeah.
part.
I mean, there are a couple of morons, but they're like, so the whole message of the first one and kind of the entire trilogy is like, just be nice to one another.
And party.
Yeah,
And partying. Yeah, party on, dudes.
But I'm with you, Kurt. I remember seeing, scenes of this movie on network television in the 90s, but I didn't sit down to watch it from start to finish till I lived in Portland,
Wow.
which, was about 15 years. It's been about 15 years,
Yeah,
but
sure.
still, like, I didn't have a nostalgic relationship with it. But when I was watching it last night, to your point, Kurt, like, it gets funnier and weirder and it is such a fucking fun ride to be on. It is so silly and out there, but I had such a good time watching it. It's awesome.
If anyone has not seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, it's about two high school best friends who are in a band and failing their history class, and through the help of a time-traveling phone booth, travel back in time to round up a group of historical figures to basically be part of their history class final presentation. And Bill and Ted are also destined to become
The greatest band in the world.
the greatest band in the world and like philosophical leaders for generations and centuries to come.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also like a couple like stonery surfer morons.
From the Valley, in California. And they are played by Alex Winter and the great Keanu Reeves.
Some of the best on-screen chemistry between two people
Amazing.
I've ever seen in my life.
Amazing, yeah. And like Alex Winter didn't do a whole lot of other stuff on camera since then. I guess he made a lot of documentaries and has a lot of producer credits, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, them on screen together. God, they're great.
I mean, and Lost Boys must have come out right around this time.
Oh, yeah.
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 Was Alex Winter in that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was in that.
I believe he has a dangly upside down cross earring.
I think a few of them do.
Hell yeah,
actually.
dude. Hell yeah. But Bill and Ted is one of those movies that there's not much of an antagonist in the first movie.
It's anomalous, kind of.
Well, that's
right?
part two.
Is that the second one? My bad,
Yeah.
my bad.
So part one just doesn't really have,
Like a consistent bad guy.
yeah, like no one's fighting against them. They're just fighting against themselves and a clock.
Also, Ted's dad wanted to send him to military school if they don't pass the report.
Exactly. There's like high stakes
Yeah.
where if Ted fails history class, he's going to go to military school in Alaska.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that happens, the Wild Stallions, his band with Bill, breaks up, and then therefore they never become the greatest band in the world. And then therefore they never become philosophical, religious style leaders who bring about world peace and harmony.
Yeah.
High stakes.
Very high stakes.
Insanely high stakes. But it's just like their misadventures through time. I mean, it's like a really basic movie when you boil it down. It's like they're fun, silly adventures through time. One of the best bits in the movie, they go to medieval England and they get in suits and armor and they're like heavy metal, and they have this
We're total metalheads.
yeah, they have this air guitar act that they do throughout the movie that they play air guitar, but there's a sound bit in the soundtrack that is the guitar being played, which is phenomenal.
That's Steve Vai playing those.
Oh, is it really?
I think so. Yeah.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that is.
Wait, who plays it?
I'm pretty sure it's Steve Vai.
That's amazing. He's an incredible guitarist.
Yeah, he's like a Joe Satriani kind of virtuoso dude. He's played with like Zappa, and
Okay.
I don't know. He's just one of those dudes that is like next level. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those bits, they're funny every time. Every time they do the little air guitar and it's
Yeah. So the heavy metal bit's great. At one point they're like, put them in the Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden, awesome. Yeah. There's just a lot of kind of one-liner silly jokes like that still in this day and age just fucking hit every single time.
Dude, maybe my favorite joke in the whole film is when Bill is introducing all the historical figures to Missy, and he gives them all aliases, and he's like, "Hey, Missy, Mom, this is Bob Genghis Khan, William the Kid, Roy Sigmund Freud,
Yeah, right.
and Abraham Lincoln."
Yeah.
It's just so fucking funny.
Yeah, so they travel initially they go to early 19th century France and end up picking up Napoleon.
Napoleon,
Right.
yeah. I guess Napoleon's kind of a adversary in some scenes.
Napoleon's a dick.
Yeah. That guy's a dick,
That's
dude.
a dick. He's a dick.
My favorite scene in this movie is while they're off, Bill and Ted are off gathering up the other historical figures like Lincoln and
Roy Sigmund Freud and Bob Genghis Khan.
exactly.
Yeah.
Napoleon has been left behind to essentially wait for them in San Dimas in California.
Is that a real place, by the way?
It is.
It is?
The movie was shot in Arizona.
Yeah, we drove through it. Kurt, remember when we drove through San Dimas?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is where Bill and Ted is. We did
I've never
it.
been. I gotta go.
Yeah.
It's on my wish list.
One of the things I read online was that San Dimas had some kind of, 50th anniversary as a town or whatever anniversary as a town. And the slogan for their anniversary was an excellent adventure. So
Hell
That's
yeah.
great.
they
Good
wear
for
it
them.
proud.
Yeah.
Good for them.
But Napoleon is left behind and he goes to a water park.
Called Waterloo.
And there's like a 10-minute scene of him just learning what a water slide is,
Riding water slides.
It's so funny.
becoming obsessed with a water slide and like pushing kids out of his way to get to be the first in line. And it's so good.
It's incredible. We should also mention that the guy who comes from the future to present them this excellent journey to go on, excellent adventure, to go on, is the late, great George Carlin.
Hell yeah.
Rufus is the character's name
Yeah,
in this
Rufus.
one.
Did you read that they had been considering a few people, but one of them was Sean Connery?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What?
I think
That's
the original
wild.
idea was to make like part of the joke was that they were going to make Rufus like as serious as they possibly could
Yeah.
to juxtapose these two dum-dums,
Right.
and build the jokes that way. But it works kind of better that it's George Carlin.
I think it's better for him to be silly because there's enough people who don't take Bill and Ted seriously enough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's one of my favorite things when talking about movies is learning about who is up for consideration for parts when you've seen a movie
Yeah.
1,000 times. Like when you learn O.J. Simpson could have been the Terminator.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
like
Like,
one of the
that's so
most insane
strange,
things
dude.
ever. Yeah,
It's wild, like, not to just be like, isn't it crazy that actors can play different people? But it's insane to watch this movie and like think about Keanu's trajectory from here. Like thinking about Speed during this movie, which is like not that long after this, but
Sure, yeah.
it's amazing. He's so funny in this.
I think it's funny too to like Bill and Ted are so not fighters in any of these movies. There's very little like fights they get in, and I was watching it last night with this idea of Keanu in my head, and when he throws like a really bad punch in part one, and then like somebody like knocks him down, and it's like, oh god, this is the guy who we're gonna hire as like
To
the
be
world's
Neo and
best
shit?
to be the world's best assassin, or like to break us out of the Matrix or whatever else it is. But
If you really think about it, Bill is the one, he's the scrapper of the two. He's
Yeah.
like, you killed Ted, you medieval dickweed.
yeah,
And then, and to skip ahead a little bit in Bogus Journey, he punches the robot version of himself in the jaw and like hurts his hand.
yeah.
He's the one who's throwing hands.
Yeah, because Ted's always like, I mean, as we learn in the third one, he's the much more like heady kind of philosophical one. Although he doesn't, every time he says something, it's kind of the dumber
It's really
of the
dumb.
two.
Yeah. He's always got that like vapid look in his eyes.
Yeah.
Give me the Alex Winter cut of John Wick.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
I once saw them having dinner together not too long ago. Keanu and Alex Winter.
Damn, that rules.
That
so
makes me feel
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
That makes me feel great.
Yeah. And several years ago when I was working at Paramount, I met Alex Winter. He came in for like a general meeting because he was trying to pitch a movie, and he was lovely. He's
That's
just
great.
incredible.
I love it.
I love to hear that.
Top-notch guy.
They are soon to be on Broadway together doing Waiting for Godot. Did you guys know that?
Really?
Yeah. Next
No.
year in New York.
Waiting for Godot? What is that?
It's like an existential, like,
But Keanu and Alex are doing this
yeah.
together? Really? Oh, wow. That's cool.
I had no idea.
Like
That's
stretching
actually
out.
hilarious.
I
Yeah.
assumed they were going to be doing some sort of Bill and Ted related thing.
Okay.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
You were just saying that you met Alex Winter and he was really nice, and that is great. I was noticing watching all three of these movies over the last 5 days or whatever, that the character Bill, like kind of drives the comedy with the dialogue more than Ted does.
Yep.
He's the one who like sets everything up so Keanu can knock it down and stuff like that.
I feel like at the time the first one comes out, I feel like he's the bigger star.
What had he done? Was that after Lost Boys?
My guess is that it's either the same year or right before it.
He was like not very prominent in Lost Boys. The only other movie I can think of him in was that movie Freaked. And that was
which he also directed, which is
and it was
awesome.
great.
Yeah,
Like,
that movie's
that
awesome.
movie was really good.
What's it called?
Freaked. It's like
It's a monster movie. It's like a comedy monster movie.
and that's like uses a lot of claymation and kind of
Randy Quaid is a circus owner guy and has a bunch of like freaks in his whatever.
his repertoire.
I guess so.
So Lost Boys is 87, so it is before the first Bill and Ted. He was in one episode of the Equalizer television
With
show.
Robert Urich.
And also in Death Wish 3. So I guess he's not like and medium rare. He's not like a huge star,
No.
but
Keanu had done like The Water's Edge was the movie that he
River's
did?
Edge.
The
River's Edge,
right?
yeah.
And then he's got Dangerous Liaisons the year before this.
Okay,
And then this same year, Parenthood came out, which I think was pretty big for him.
sure.
Was he one of Steve Martin's kids in that? Parenthood to Steve Martin, right?
Yes. I'm not sure. Is he one of the kids or is he like a boyfriend? I think Joaquin's one of the kids.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Oh, I think
Yeah.
you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a crazy movie. It's not one of my favorites.
Like the first time I ever heard of Keanu Reeves or Alex Winter was seeing them in Bill and Ted. I didn't watch The Lost Boys until like the 90s probably.
Sure. That was another one that I didn't see till high school. And I think because of that, I've never really had much of a relationship with it.
Oh yeah.
I think it's fine.
I love it, but
Yeah.
I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah. So I think one of the most iconic scenes in the first movie
It's more of a
is
sequence. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
mean,
long
it's
montage.
so part of the assignment is that you have to talk about how a historical figure would like California in the modern world.
Mhm.
So Bill and Ted take the group of historical figures they have to the San Dimas Mall.
Let's break it down real fast. Let's unpack who they are. We've got Sigmund Freud, Genghis Khan, Abraham Lincoln, Socrates, Billy the Kid, Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc.
Yeah, Joan.
Just
Joan
of
of
Arc.
Arc.
And then that's everybody, right?
Napoleon's at the water park.
Abraham
Napoleon's at the water park.
Abraham Lincoln was at the mall too because he's
Yeah.
hanging out with Socrates.
Yeah.
Socrates.
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 This the Socrates of it all.
Beethoven is there.
Oh, Beethoven. Yeah.
Yeah, Beethoven.
The Socrates of it all kills me every single time. they
It's
say
so
it.
funny. It's just, and then they say it
Like-
right on the stage at the
I know,
end.
yeah, they finally get it right.
It's so funny.
Oh, and when they have their meeting with Socrates, when they first meet him, to get him to like join them, they quote the intro to Days of Our Lives, the soap opera, like sands through the hourglass. So there's that's what Socrates says, and they say all we are is dust in the wind, dude. Dust, wind, dude. All we are
funny.
is dust in the wind, dude. Dust, wind, dude.
Yeah, and then Socrates loses it. He's like,
Yes,
Yes, I'll
sands
go
through the
with you.
hourglass.
Take me
Show the
with
days
you.
of our lives.
yeah. So they go to this mall and are kind of left to their own devices ultimately. It's one of those perfect, when montage is used correctly in a movie, it can be so great and so funny. And this is one of those perfect montages
Dude.
where you see every character kind of get into a funny situation and how they ultimately get themselves. Well, nobody really gets out of it. They all get fucking arrested.
They get arrested. Yeah. They end up going to jail. Yeah.
Yeah. But Joan of Arc like goes to an
teaches
aerobics
aerobics.
class.
Which she leads.
Yeah,
Leads an aerobics class.
pushes the instructor off the stage and then starts leading
And
it.
Beethoven is providing the soundtrack to the montage because he's like in the store playing 5 keyboards.
It's amazing.
They're all like that late 80s synths. They're so awesome.
Fuck
Yeah.
Billy the Kid and who else are hitting on girls?
That's it's really getting Socrates. She calls him a dork or something.
Freud like ruins it.
Oh, yeah. Freud comes over. They're just
Geek,
like, guys, you
a
guys are
dork."
geeks. Yeah. And Socrates looks at Freud and he's like, geek.
Yeah, the mall scene is great. Genghis Khan with like finds the aluminum baseball bat and beats the fuck out of that.
Oh my
mannequin.
God.
Oh, it's
Does
so
a flip
funny.
off of a
Incredible.
trampoline, lands on a skateboard.
It's so fun.
So let's talk about the sequel, which comes 2 years later.
Yeah, right on time. 2 years. That's how you do it.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which I was just telling Dagan and his wife Rosie before we started getting going that my biggest memory of this movie before I watched it this morning was being really scared of the poster with William Sadler as death on it at the video store when I was a kid, like being terrified of it.
His makeup is spooky. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like really well done, like corpse makeup or something.
And it's really like a play on the on death from the Seventh Seal, the
Right.
Yeah.
Bergman movie.
Where they play chess with death, and this movie features a very funny sequence where they play.
Oh my God, that's right. I mean, I didn't even think about that.
Battleship.
Yeah,
Twister.
and the Twister and that weird football game where the
and
thing just
and
vibrates.
So
Clue.
funny.
And Clue. The best is that it
Yeah, Clue.
so it cuts at one.
It was Professor Plum.
yeah.
I really felt his anger because Sam and Kurt and I played Clue a bunch last year, and it's
Oh, yeah?
fucking intense. Like, it's so hard. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Anyway, I felt like death.
I think like the 6 bottles of wine that we drank beforehand really
that
helped
makes a difference.
it. Yeah.
Clue is like essentially process of elimination,
Yeah,
right? That's
without
all
a
it
doubt.
is, right?
Yeah.
I haven't played it since I was a child, but like,
Watch out, Dagan. Sam's good.
I just
He is.
I remember being drunk and trying to explain to Kim, I'm like, it's a lot about the questions you're not asking.
it's like jazz.
yeah,
It's like
totally.
the notes
so
you don't
mad.
play.
But you must have been like stoked as hell when this movie came out, Dagan, if you were
Oh my God.
right in the first one.
I was so excited, and the very first trailer that dropped for it was them just falling down the totally deep hole. That was the trailer for like,
Oh, wow.
The
That's
endless
fun.
fall.
dude, this is a totally deep hole.
Yeah.
Now what? Ah! Bill and Ted, Bogus Journey.
Whoa, that's a
Like,
great
That's
teaser.
a great
Dude.
teaser.
Such a great trailer. I was like, I mean, that's like right my sense of humor
Yeah.
too. Dude, this is plus my sense of humor is very much shaped by those two characters as well. Dude, this is a totally deep hole. Is something that I say whenever I see a deep hole.
But I mean, we should also point out that in between Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, they do the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, the cartoon show.
Oh yeah,
I was not aware that existed until I was doing research. Have you guys seen that?
I've seen an episode for sure.
I don't remember. I watched it all when I was younger, but I don't remember anything about it really.
They do the voices, right?
Yeah.
yeah, they voice it. Yeah,
It's kind of too bad that the animated one isn't on this release.
It'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they had another disc in there. Well, because it's like, this is one of those releases that looks incredible. It's a nice kind of hard box with 3 separate movies cases inside of it, which is what I prefer out of a box set. But they tote it as 6 discs, which it is, but it's 3 4Ks and 3 Blu-rays. So
2 discs of the same movie in
Yeah.
different format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would have loved to, like, keep a couple Blu-rays or throw a couple of the animated episodes on each Blu-ray. That would have been awesome.
Somebody else must just own the animated series.
I'm
and
sure.
they just couldn't get it.
So Bogus Journey, the second of the 3, introduces us to, what is the bad guy's name?
Denomalos.
Denomalos.
He's Rufus's PE teacher from when he was in high school.
Yeah, that bit when he's like,
Yeah.
because at the very beginning of the movie,
My former student.
yeah, Rufus
Like his
sees-
gym class student.
yeah, I know.
I
That
think
bit
it's
is
like his
so
like
good.
sensei or something.
Yeah,
but-
he's like, he was my 5th grade gym teacher. We're introduced to Denomalos, who basically just hates Bill and Ted and wants to create any other type of future without them in it.
And we're like in the future. We're in like
Yes.
2600 whatever,
And so he sends 2 Bill and Ted robots back to the past to pretty much Terminator.
What is it? It's the future. Everything's great. Wages are up. Mini golf scores are down.
Yeah, which, he says bowling scores are up,
Wait,
but mini golf scores are
way
down.
Yeah.
And I rewound that a couple of times because I was like, is this like a dig at golfers in general? Like, or is this just like a funny joke?
Oh, it's good
that-
because golf scores, you want the lowest score. That's how you win golf.
Oh,
It's scored like negative points.
yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
grind.
Wow. Yeah, that really just. All right. Anyway, this is my last episode. I'll see you guys later. The best thing about this movie as its sequel is it basically, they were like, we went to
The past?
Yeah, we
Time
went to
travel.
the past in the first one
Mm.
and we like hopped around there. This one, we're going to go to the afterworld. So instead of like time traveling a whole bunch, it's more so you're going to go to heaven, you're going to go to hell, you're going to bounce around and see what else is out there. And it's just done in such a silly way. Well, they're also fighting against these 2 robots, which, by the way, the reveal at the very beginning of the 2 robots who kind of peel their faces
Right.
off and it's the robot skull underneath it is phenomenal.
Evil robot us's.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like this movie. I think that it was just the jokes were dialed in better. The concept is so strange, but the story just flows so smoothly.
This one in particular is I know sourced from like the original camera negative and the second one, and it looks better than the first one. I think the first one looks great,
Oh, wow.
but this looks really good on 4K. And that effect you're talking about, even on 4K, and like I projected it like 100 inches big, and I don't know how they did that. That scene.
Like the pull the skin off the robot.
Yeah,
bodies?
like
It's
it happens. It's such a quick cut that I was like, oh my, like it.
And they edit around it really smartly. Like they
Yeah.
change
right.
angles like at the perfect time to like kind of, trick your eye.
That's cool. It's funny now that you're talking about it, I think I noticed that like the edit, like after he puts his face back, it cuts to the shot from behind him and it's like,
Yeah,
it's like,
kind
oh, it
of-
just
you
looks
can
like he really
see
did
him
it.
like peeling it kind of down. Yeah, and we're so used to seeing CGI kind of blur the lines of everything these days, but more often than not, it's like very clear that it's CGI.
Sure, yeah.
This is done in such a way that when I was first watching it, I was like, oh, well, yeah, whatever. And I was like, wait a minute, this is 91. This is not CGI at all. Like that's a puppet of some kind.
Right, yeah.
Or a mask, and it just looks so awesome.
They very obviously demonstrate that their capacity for CGI is not good when their ghost selves possess his dad through his ear, like when his like gray his gray spirit body goes into his dad's head.
But-
In the police station. It looks terrible.
Those two actors
I totally believe you, dude.
Yeah. Sup, cop dudes? Yeah.
Yeah, in Bogus Journey, like Ted's dad, who is like the local, sheriff or something, he is established in the first movie as being like really uptight. Like you just can't believe he's Ted's dad.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite energy. And there's a scene where Ted, as a
Dead
ghost,
Ted. Ted's
dead
ghost,
Ted,
yeah.
possesses his dad. So this actor who you've only seen for 1.5 movies be just this uptight
Stick
square.
up his butt, dad, square. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who's also
Yeah.
a cop. He's like the
Yeah.
head of a cop department.
Dude, when he turns into Ted, it's like he does great.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, and another note, the other cop who Bill possesses right after that is the doctor in Total Recall who tries to get Arnold to swallow the pill.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, who's the bead of sweat drops down his face.
Yeah, and then he gets
Arnold
shot in the head.
shoots him in the head.
That's the same dude, yeah.
Is he also in David Lynch's Dune?
I haven't seen that in so long. I don't
As
know.
who? The Baron? Or
Is
who?
he the guy who plays the Baron?
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think I was thinking of Total Recall. I think
Yeah,
you're right.
he's totally the doctor.
Yeah, without a doubt. So, okay, so you just think that like as a sequel, as kind of a similar idea to the first one, but slightly different, it's just you like it better because it's more dialed in. It feels
I think the jokes are tighter. Like it goes way further out there with like going to heaven and hell and like meeting Martian scientists and station. Like you have a most excellently huge Martian butt. Like what a fucking joke. What a good joke.
And then Death's like he's like
he's a bass player. He's like a really good bass player.
but he's got that line right after. He's like, you got a totally huge, awesome Martian butt or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like, Death's like, my butt's pretty good too.
Just the different places that it goes. I just enjoy it. It's darker. There are moments of actual like you were scared of the poster,
Yeah,
and like when
yeah,
they first
yeah.
see Death off in the distance, like he's just like gong. There's like a sting, and he's like gong, like
Yeah.
silhouetted on a hill, like a mile and a half away. And it's like I'm kind of scared, and then it's like, who's that? Who do you think it is, dude? And I'm like, I'm back. It's funny again.
They give him Melvin.
They Melvin him. It's just a
Melvin
wedgie.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know I don't know if I ever knew Melvin for Wedgie.
that's the only time I've ever heard it in that movie. When I was a kid, I thought a Melvin was like a front wedgie.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
because it's shot kind of weird. And it looked like maybe they pulled his underwear up front to give him like a painful like moose knuckle
Yeah.
or whatever.
I think you're right. That's my memory is agreeing.
Yeah, but
they
then when I
definitely
watched
do
it,
it from the back.
yeah, when I watched it last night or 2 nights ago, like I was paying special attention. I'm like, is a Melvin front or back?
Yeah, I just confirmed it's in the front.
A Melvin is a front
Wow,
wedgie.
okay.
Thank
What
you.
came up when you Googled that?
The Melvin is a variant where the victim's underpants are pulled up from the front to cause injury or severe pain to the victim's
The victim.
genitals. I love it.
It's a painful moose knuckle.
Thanks, Google.
I really I thought it was when I was watching it, I thought it was like because they say, hey Death, your shoe's untied,
Right.
and then they get him. I thought I was like, oh, maybe a Melvin's a wedgie, but you have to kind of like, you got to burn him otherwise. Like your shoe's untied and then you melt. and
Oh,
then-
it's like you got to like make him look dumb and then hurt him too.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Damn.
That's the combo of
It's a
Melvin.
wedgie with emotional violence.
Cold blooded, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking mean.
I destroyed your life, man.
You smell like shit. And, like, poke him in the eye.
There is a sequence where they literally like go to hell, right? In this movie.
Yeah, actually, that was the original title for the film was Bill and Ted Go to Hell.
Really?
That's just true. I remember from like seeing it long ago, but they ultimately determined that like having the word hell would probably be
Sure.
a deal breaker. And the scene where they're actually in hell is only about 6 minutes long or something like that. So
And I believe they say, "Hey, Beelzebub, dude." It's an awesome line.
also when Colonel Oates makes them drop down to do infinity push-ups, and Bill's like, "There's no way I can do infinity push-ups, dude." And Ted's like, maybe he'll let him do his girly style.
Yeah.
It's fucking good jokes, man.
Kurt lost his mind with that scene because of
Oh my
Bill.
God. When Bill goes, they meet the drill instructor. It's like basically a spoof of Full Metal Jacket, a sequence while they're in hell, and their drill instructor is someone who works at the military academy in Alaska that Ted's dad is always
It's
threatening
Colonel
to
Oates.
send
Yeah,
him
it's
to.
Colonel Oates, yeah.
And Bill is responding to him, and he's like, "Sir, yes, sir, dude." And he like can't help dude. From
Yes,
coming
dude,
out.
sir. Dude, yes, sir, dude.
It really killed me.
It's really good. I liked Bogus Journey a lot. I think I liked part 1 a little bit more. When I was watching part 1 last night, and I'll be honest, I was like, okay, I'm about to sit down and watch Bill and Ted. We're going to talk about it on the podcast. I was like, I'm going to smoke some weed, watch this movie. It's been a minute since I've seen it. This is like the perfect kind of original stoner comedy in a way. And oh my God, I was like falling out of like off the couch laughing at some parts.
Sure, yeah.
And I liked part 2 a lot. There's a charm to part 1. And maybe it's like Keanu and Alex are like the perfect age to play these guys. They're like pretty unfamous at that moment. And I know that movie just exploded.
Sure, yeah.
And made them big stars. And the fact that they were willing to kind of make themselves look like idiots for this, like for the fun of this movie, and then do it again in part 2. And then again, 24 years later?
Yeah.
Wasn't it 30 years?
Is it?
Was it 30 years?
It is. 2020 it came out, so almost.
Yeah, so this one's 91, yeah. But, I mean, Kurt, so you hadn't seen this, you don't think?
I think we watched maybe the first half of it in a rush to see the third one.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if we had plans to watch that kind of virtually with someone or why we were rushing, but no, I don't think I had finished it until this go.
Yeah, what do you think about it, how it stands up to the first one?
I like the simplicity of the first one. I like the kind of simple logline premise of them trying to pass a history test in order to become these leaders.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But I also really love where they take the second one, as you're saying. It's just, it's so extreme. I feel like they're very comfortable in the skin of their characters, and they know the audience and what they're looking for. And, this movie's nuts. It's got like giant Henson-style Martian puppets. And as you mentioned, like the darkness, the sequence where they're in hell, we touched upon like the drill sergeant bit, but both Bill and Ted have their own sort of individual nightmare experiences.
I know.
And they're like German expressionist, like abstract set designed, like little horror movies.
Yeah.
There's like parallels to like the Adam West Batman show when the bad guy's lair is like shot on an angle or something, just to like make you feel slightly off.
I mean, and both those sets look like pulled straight out of Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Exactly.
We're totally lied to about our album covers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoa, dude, I think we're in hell. Yeah. Did you catch Alex Winter as the grandma, Kurt?
Yeah. For sure.
So funny. Keanu's like personal hell is like with an Easter bunny, and that Easter bunny puppet is like funny and creepy at the same time. Like, I really like that stuff a lot.
And then they're like, after their little individual nightmares are over, like the grandma and this Easter bunny, who are kind of the frightening figures from them, are like chasing them through this half kind of heighted hallway.
It looks like
covered in
Aliens.
smoke. Yeah, it looks like Alien 3. Like,
sure,
it's like creepy.
They get out of hell. Spoiler alert.
They challenged the Reaper.
Oh, to get out of hell, they
to
challenge the Reaper.
Yeah.
They beat him 6 out of 6.
4 out of 7. It's 4 out of 7.
Yeah. No, but So
they go to 4 out of 7. So they beat him at Battleship. They beat him at Twister,
Clue,
and
then that weird
the
Super Bowl game. Yeah. And then they go to heaven where they mug 3
nuts.
people. Yeah.
Before they go through the gates, they beat 3 people up and take their clothes.
And then they go meet God, which you never see. Like, you don't ever see an image of God, but it's kind of like a giant white cloud. And they're like, hey, God, we're here. Yeah, we mugged some people on our way in. We're sorry about that. Yeah.
And
like,
they recite the lyrics to Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
yeah.
And Keanu's wearing these like huge overalls that are like massive and
Yeah, just like his bibs and like a big straw hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations on Earth, though.
We're big fans. We enjoy it on a daily basis.
We have a most excellent time there. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like an incredible Uranus joke to God in that. He's like, congratulations on Earth. Actually, congratulations on all your planets. Mars, Jupiter, Uranus. Yeah.
They do the little air guitar, right?
So good. There's no wasted moment in any of these movies, really. Like, everything is just funny.
Especially like because that moment where they meet this giant alien in heaven whose name is Station. There's like Marilyn Monroe in the background. There's Albert Einstein. There's like a bunch of people who you kind of think that they're going to meet. And then it's just like, no, here's a giant.
Well, it's two. They meet the two aliens.
Yeah. Here are these two weird, as you said earlier, Kurt, like Jim Henson.
Harry puppets. Like Harry Muppets.
So, admittedly, I ran out of time and was not able to revisit part 3, which we mentioned came almost 30 years later in 2020.
Bill and Ted Face the Music is the name of part 3.
Tell us about part 3. How did that hold up on revisit?
I watched that movie for the first time. It was during 2020. And one of my best friends, Dave, he lives down in Los Angeles, and he's a tattoo artist. And he and I, separately as children, loved Bill and Ted. And then as we came together in our early 20s and played in bands together and roommates and toured together, we loved those movies together, to the point where we have like buddy Bill and Ted tattoos on each other. Like, he tattooed me, and he drew his tattoo and somebody else tattooed it on him. I don't know how to tattoo on people. Anyways, so like
Awesome.
we have the little like the guitars that they get at the end of Excellent Adventure, that the like Steinbrenner guitars with the no headstock. We each got one of those guitars tattooed on us, and mine says "Be excellent to each other," and his says "Party on, dudes."
Hell yeah.
Wow,
That's awesome.
that's
So,
incredible.
Our buddy tattoos. So like, we watched Bill and Ted Face the Music over like a FaceTime or a Zoom call from our houses. So we just got on and like queued it up, and we were like, okay, play.
This is how Sam and I currently watch Blu-rays together.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you can do
I know
that
exactly
now.
what you mean. Yeah.
You can sync it up. But it's funny because it's like, it's a total combination of analog and digital. It's like we're watching a digital streaming thing together over a digital video call, but you have to like 3, 2, 1, go. Like, and hit the space bar at the same time. So we watched it like that, and it was like, we enjoyed it. Like, some of the jokes we would like stop and look at each other on the screen, like laugh at each other and be like, that was really good, right? Like, the first time the two daughters say, "How's it going, dads?" to their dads, like, we were like, man, that's really funny.
Yeah.
But it was also a little hard, a little distracting. And so I watched it again last night with Rosie, my wife, and like, it's fucking great. Like, it just hit. It was really good. And like, just not having the, like when you're watching something with somebody, you want them to enjoy the part that you're enjoying and stuff like that. And like, you're like staring at them, like, did you get that joke?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any of that going on. It was just, we were just watching a movie, having a nice time. And it's fucking funny. There's a lot of good jokes. The simplicity is there. They're like, one thing that I really appreciated last night was like the joke, the idea that like they can't each love the princesses without each other. Like, that we like Johanna and Elizabeth, we love you.
Yeah.
And she's like, I know, but do you love me? He's like, yeah, we do. We totally do.
I forgot about that. That's really funny.
They propose at the same time in part 2.
Yeah, exactly. They can't do, there's completely codependent Bill and Ted on each other.
To the point of in part 3, they are living right next door to each other. The princesses are like, their kids are best friends. The princesses are best friends. Bill and Ted are best friends.
They go to therapy, to couples therapy, as two couples with one therapist.
The therapist is like, now when your wives came to you and said, we want to go to couples therapy, is this what you thought it was going to be? And Bill's like, yeah, we're just a couple of couples.
We love you.
And they're always referred to as the babes.
The babes.
Yeah, the babes.
Yeah.
We got to save the babes, dude.
Save the babes.
Yeah. So I hadn't seen this, and I had heard like pretty decent things about it. And going into it this afternoon, I was like, okay, I want to watch this and I got to watch it for the pod. So I turned it on. And honestly, within 5 minutes, it felt like the first two.
They had no trouble like re-inhabiting those characters.
Not at all.
Like, not
and
at all.
like it starts off with, this is actually one of the funniest bits throughout the entire trilogy. There's a character named Missy.
Mom. Yeah, she marries Deacon.
So she in the first movie,
I want
she
to talk
marries-
about Missy because it is
So
wild.
Missy is 3 years older than Bill and Ted. She marries Bill's dad in the first one.
Divorces him and marries
Divorces
Ted's dad
him.
in the second one.
Yeah. And then in the third one,
That's so
she's
funny.
divorced Ted's dad and is marrying
Ted's brother.
little brother.
I forgot about that.
And it's the same actress the whole time, too.
Yeah, when she's like in the bedroom, like bringing them snacks, and then Bill's
it's
dad
like-
walks
Dad's
in.
like,
It's so just
Go to the
chirpy.
Circle K and get some snacks. Dude, your parents are totally going to... Shut up, Ted.
Yeah, it's like, dude, your parents are using your room to get lucky. Shut up, Ted. So this movie starts out with Deacon, Ted's younger brother, marrying his old stepmom. And Bill and Ted are tasked throughout this entire trilogy with writing this song that's going to like unite the world and pretty much save it.
And they
ultimately.
can't... They haven't written the song. They don't know
They haven't
what to
written a
do.
song. Their band, the Wild Stallions, is like in the gutter. They're terrible. They're like, hey, we're going to play this song for your first dance during your wedding. And they start this song that honestly, I've been listening to a lot of Tangerine Dream lately.
Oh, yeah?
And the song started and I was like, yo, this song's pretty good.
Yeah. Like theremin and throat singing. Like,
I was like, this sounds kind of like a Tangerine Dream song. I'm into this.
I kind of liked it, too.
Yeah. But then his dad freaks out and unplugs it. And you kind of, it starts the whole thing. You meet Bill and Ted's daughters, who are actually pitched as sons at the end of the second movie, that they just
the
made
babies.
they just
right.
made daughters in part 3, which is
At
awesome.
the end of the second movie, did his baby have a long ZZ Top beard?
No, it's
Okay.
just him, yeah. But he says like, this is little Bill and this is little Ted.
Right.
And then
well, they are Bill and Ted. She's
Yeah.
Billy and she's like Ted Weena or something
Yeah.
like that. That's Theodora.
they have the length of the movie to write the song.
That
and
will like save the world.
there's an incredible bit in the movie where they keep saying like, dude, we only have 58 minutes left. And if you pull up your display, like on your Blu-ray,
actually how
it's
long-
like 58
Oh,
minutes
that's
left
fun.
are like
I
left
didn't know that.
till they get to the point where they play the song and the
That's a
movie.
little meta Easter egg thingy.
Yeah.
That's kind
That
of
seems
fun.
like such a hard thing to do. How?
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You just got to edit, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is totally easy. We're editing film. I'm sure it's very
Oh, it's
easy.
super easy, yeah.
I'm sure it's very easy.
Bill and Ted are brought to the future again, and they say that all worlds are going to collide and reality is going to end unless they write this song. And I think they're originally given 76 minutes. At the same time, Bill and Ted's daughters have realized their dads are in trouble, and somebody else shows up from the future in their present. And so they go back in time.
This one gets more confusing than the other two.
Yeah.
For sure.
They go back in time to gather like the world's best band to back Bill and Ted on writing this incredible song.
Jimi Hendrix, Louis Armstrong. And
Is the first movie Mozart and this one's
The
Beethoven?
first movie is Beethoven. It's Beethoven. They call him Beethoven. In the first movie, because they can't say anybody's name correctly, but Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
Oh, I was
is in
going to
there.
say, does Kid Cudi play Jimi Hendrix? But he
No,
plays
no.
himself.
He plays
He plays
himself.
Kid Cudi.
I don't know if it's a real person, but there's like a Japanese flutist.
Oh yeah, I think it is. And the drummer is like a cave dwelling lady she's like a famous like fusion drummer.
Oh, so then
Yeah.
then it's
They just made her be like a cave person from like prehistoric times, whatever.
Yeah. And so it's like it's a race against time for Bill and Ted to be able to write the song to save reality, and the daughters to like form the backing band that basically helps write the song.
Let's get another Bill and Ted in like 30 years. Another 30 years. Give me like old ass Keanu and
There's that incredible scene where they meet themselves as
When
old
they're old,
people
old
in the
men.
bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like this really kind of heartfelt scene that they talk
It is.
about how kind of why they lost their wives and everything else. Like it's a really sweet, cute scene in this insanely silly and stupid movie to a degree.
Um,
You're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like honestly, to your point, Kurt, like if you wanted to give me another one of these movies in 20 years, I would watch it.
I'll watch them as often as I want to put them out, honestly.
Yeah. Like I was thinking about it while finishing up the third one today. This has been one of my favorite releases of the year that I did not think was going to show up there. Like, it's like, I'm like, okay, I'm buying the Bill and Ted movies. We're going to have Dagan on the show. We're going to talk about them. I like Bill and Ted 1. I'm sure I'll like 2. I'm sure 3 will be fine. And I was like, I can't wait to show more people these movies who haven't seen them. They feel a bit timeless, although it's like very much rooted in that the valley scene of the 80s.
Yeah, but the jokes are evergreen.
Yeah.
They're just funny. It's like two dudes who love each other being idiots.
None of the movies, like while the second one is darker, none of them are really mean-spirited in any way.
Oh gosh, not at all.
And so it just works. It plays.
It's very positive.
Yeah.
They're always like, whenever anything's going wrong, like they always make the noble decision. Like every time, like when they're dead, they're like, we have to save the babes.
Yeah, exactly.
We have to get to the babes.
God to save him.
We didn't really touch on it too much, but one thing I want to touch on is how much I love evil Bill and Ted from the second one.
The evil robot us's.
The robots,
Yeah.
who are just like,
We're fully going to kill you again.
they're like
want to,
super
too.
villains, but
They're
they're
so
still
mean.
Bill and Ted.
They are, yeah. Like we have orders to kill you, and we totally want to too.
Yeah.
Oh, I just have this is a little personal, just a funny thing. My friend Dave, who I love, that we watched this movie, the third one over FaceTime or whatever. When we were in a punk band together long ago, our like opening song every night for our set was an instrumental song that was about 40 seconds long, and we titled it "The Good Robot Us's." And it was just like a triumphant, like,
Hell yeah.
like double guitar harmony song that like led straight into our first song.
Hell
And it
yeah.
was like,
Amazing.
Fucking
Good Robot
awesome.
Us's.
I fucking love that.
Wayne's World is so similar in a way, but more adult. Like I wonder. I mean, obviously, I would think Bill and Ted came first, but
Bill
I
and
wonder
Ted's
if they
first.
informed
Yeah.
each other.
I've thought about this before. Like I would not be surprised one bit if like Mike Myers watched Bill and Ted and was like, I love this. This is brilliant. But he's also, obviously Mike Myers is a fucking genius comedian.
Yeah,
course.
especially at that time.
Yeah, he was fucking red hot.
I
firing
think-
all cylinders.
Wayne's World, the bit,
Mm-hmm.
had probably started before Bill and Ted because it was an SNL bit.
In the
It was
80s?
not in the no
Yeah,
way,
it
dude.
was in the 80s.
Isn't
I
Wayne's
think.
World
Or
a
is it in the
movie
90s?
90?
Wayne's World's 90s all the way, dog.
No, but is Wayne's
First
World a
one's
movie?
92.
Oh, okay. So I thought the first one was 90. So to your point, yes. I wouldn't be surprised if he saw that as well. Kind of made them more metalheads than they are like surfer dudes.
They're very, I mean, there's definitely parallels.
I got the intel here.
Oh, what do we got?
According to Wikipedia, the first Wayne's World sketch appeared in the 13th SNL episode of the 88-89 season on February 18th, 1989.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
They're right there.
okay.
Very close. Yeah.
Right there.
Wait. February 18th, 1989 is the first Wayne's World appearance on SNL. The release date for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, February 17th, 1989.
Oh,
Huh.
that's crazy, dude.
It's just parallel thinking?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Whoa, dude.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Is Keanu's whoa in The Matrix nodding at Bill and
I
Ted?
mean, it's like,
I hope so.
it's got to be, right? It's like
yeah.
when like Arnold Schwarzenegger says like, I'll be back in like The Running Man or something. It's like, hey,
Yeah, I know what
see
you're
you.
doing.
It's your
Yeah,
quote.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be.
like, I fucking see you, dude.
I mean, he doesn't hold it as much in The Matrix, but
Thank God.
yeah. Can you imagine? Whoa! I know
Kung Fu. Whoa.
I want to talk about Keanu's like affect in like how he like holds his body is like so funny in like the first one. He just kind of like is always bopping around.
Oh, yeah. I would say bopping is a great word for it.
Yeah.
His hair's in front of his eyes.
His hair is
constantly.
like
Yeah, and like when he walks, his kneecaps are in front of his shoulders when he walks. He's kind of like,
Totally.
yeah, kind of like Weekend at Bernie's almost.
It's just incredible.
There's a part where they're running in part 2, and I'm like, dude, that's how he runs in John Wick. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's his
You notice how
natural
people run
running.
on screen, though. That's the thing that you pay attention to.
I'm like,
I know that about
hey
you.
guys, he's really good at running.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. That's on-screen runner.
Always shout out to Tom Cruise.
We didn't. I mean, talked about the soundtrack to these movies, but they're very
Awesome.
cool.
They're awesome.
They are great.
Megadeth, House in Chains, Faith No More. That song, Two Heads Are Better Than One. It's like two heads
Yeah,
are
is
better
that-
than
what-
one.
does that-
It's double the pleasure and triple the fun. It just doesn't make any sense.
Which one ends with the Kiss song, like rock and roll?
Gotta give Rock and Roll to You, which is
Yeah.
technically it's a Petra song, and Kiss covered it.
Okay.
Petra
That's
was like a
part two,
Christian
though.
rock band. Yeah, that's the song they write to win the Battle of Bands at the end of part 2.
Hell yeah.
That song has like 4 endings. If you listen to the actual like the Kiss song, it's like the song ends 4 times. Like there's like 4 pump fix. And one of the endings, it sounds like the band stops and then like it's quiet for a beat or like a beat and a half, so it feels too long. And then like Paul Stanley comes back and he's like, God gave rock and roll, and he just sounds like Kermit the Frog or something, like reflecting on like, who am I? Like it sounds like
Staring at the moon.
yeah,
Okay.
like sitting on a log looking into a pond or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and we've touched on it a little bit, but like, Dagan, why is this your trilogy more than anything? Is it just nostalgia? Is it?
Oh no, it's funny. I would say like without the nostalgia at all. That's why I asked Kurt about it and you about it. Like without having the connection of watching it when you were a child, that you still like it. And like you like it more every time you see it. It's just, I just think it's the fun. They're just so funny.
Yeah.
Like there's such a bottomless treasure trove of good jokes and good situations and just good feelings. Like very positive, lovable characters who like always make the noble decisions. Plus I'm a total fucking, like, I love that music. I love music of that time. And
Yeah,
it's, like,
sure.
wanky guitar solos and like over the top bullshit production. Like I'm just super into it. And I love science fiction. Like I'm an avid, like voracious science fiction reader and watcher.
They have fun with the time travel stuff too. They play around with the logic and
They do. I keep bringing it up. Another one of my favorite jokes is when they give Billy the kid an attaboy. Like, Bill, you're dealing with the oddity of time travel with the greatest of ease.
Yeah.
Like they tell the kid that.
well, we did it.
Wow.
All right.
Really special.
It was fun. I love these movies. Nice to talk to you guys about them.
Dagan, thanks so much for being on the show.
Honestly, man.
Yeah, dude.
We love it.
Hell yeah.
Looking forward as always to the next Murder by Death. Let me know when you're in LA. We can grab a drink.
I would
Yes.
love to do that. Yeah.
That was a blast. I honestly, I said it earlier, but this has been such a treat of a release for this year, and to go back and watch them all within 24 hours of one another was just so fun. And it really, like, I cannot wait to show these movies to more people. I feel like they're a little bit of lost to time. Like, I don't know if like a 20-year-old who has no idea what these movies are would just like throw them on,
I'm
but
curious about that. I wonder.
Yeah.
they're definitely worth it.
They seem
They
like
have their fans for sure, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, fucking A.
I'm gonna go watch the third one right now.
You should, dude. Honestly, like
Yeah.
it holds up
it's funny.
way better
It's
than
good.
I thought it would.
How's it going, dads?
All right, Sam, before we go, it's time to put wishes out into the physical media universe for titles on formats that they do not yet exist on.
I'm ready.
I
wish for an Arrow Video deluxe edition of Hot Rod.
I wish for a 4K of That Thing You Do. Hot Rod.
Yeah. Again, trying to keep the comedy going with this episode and my wish. Hot Rod is a hilarious early Andy Samberg / The Lonely Island movie where Andy Samberg plays the titular Rod, who is like dreaming of becoming a Evel Knievel like motorcycle figure.
Is his dad played by Ian McShane?
Yeah. Yeah, his stepdad. Yeah.
Amazing.
Who he like fights through the movie.
Yeah.
It's a very silly, stupid movie. There's a studio release Blu-ray of it. I think it would just be like an awesome big box 4K deluxe Blu-ray. I'm sure there's some really good behind the scenes stuff from the filming of it. I would love a long list of special features. Hot Rod rules. I actually think I saw Hot Rod based on your recommendation.
Could be. Yeah, I was into it in college for sure, or right afterward. I can't remember when it came
it was
out.
after. I definitely didn't see it till Portland.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I feel like you could have a lot of fun with the packaging on that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe one of the funniest opening scenes of all time. He's like going to do a jump over an RV.
Oh yeah, Bill Hader's in it too, right?
Yep, Bill Hader. He like takes some acid at one scene. He like works at an ice rink, I think.
Sounds right.
It is completely outrageous and a lot of fun.
To keep the music half of Bill and Ted going, I chose Tom Hanks's directorial debut, I think.
You're right, yeah.
That Thing You Do. And this is a movie about like a 1960s rock and roll band that has a hit, and it kind of tracks their ascendance to become like a famous band.
I've really been wanting to rewatch this. It's come up in a couple conversations for me lately, and I haven't seen it since I was like a small kid.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a really good movie. It's really good. We've got it on Blu-ray. But, you know, it's just one of those like colorful shot on film in the 90s movies that would look really great on 4K. Okay, that's it for another episode of Physical Therapy. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you to Dagan, our very special guest.
Yeah, it was great to have Dagan on to talk about Bill and Ted, 3 movies that he loves deeply, that we all love deeply at this point.
Be sure to check those movies out if you haven't seen them.
Yeah. And you can see Dagan on tour with Billy Liar currently and Murder by Death at other times during the year.
Hell yeah. Thank you to Kimberly, our producer, and thank you to Patrick Laban for our incredible music. Sam, thank you. We'll be back next week. What are we talking about?
Next week, we are back on the Arnold train with our good buddy Drew Hanks, and we will be talking about Conan.
Hell yeah. See you then, Sam.
Bye.